Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is Roy back again. Going to do some experiments tonight. Do a little modification to the wheel. And tonight we have set up a PMH coming off the front of the wheel into a voltage multiplier. Got a 4.5 watt assortment of LEDs. The wheel's going to be turned by this coil, a cylinder coil that I built. It goes from the back to that line right there. And let's go ahead and get it rolling a little bit. All right. Check the battery. And we're going to start it off slow. We'll let it start off slow. And look at the voltmeter. See if I can get a better view of the cylinder. We'll step it up a little bit. Picking up speed. Wire was out off the voltmeter. Look at the LED lighting up. What's going on, Adam? Yeah, it's 24 volts, so it's pulling 40 amps. So that's resistance of 0.06. So it comes out, you times that by 24. That's 24 volts. You can see the LEDs lit up right there. That's 4.5 watts. Some good speed going here. Still picking up speed. It's not slowing down at all. Voltage multiplier, PMH. So the PMH is picking up off the magnetism in the front, running that right there. That's ingenuity at its finest, my fellow deer YouTubers. She's cruising and she's picking up speed. Let me clear it out. I don't think that's true. I don't think this thing works too good on that wheel. Times 10. That ain't no 3,800 RPM. She's still picking up speed. Let's take the load off. Voltmeter's climbing. Building up capacitance. She's getting faster. She's picking up more speed. She ain't slowing down, guys. We'll call this the wheelie gigging. Nice little spring action going. Pretty interesting. This thing's got way more potential. It's not even warm, it's cold. It's that 14 gauge magnetic wire on there. It's a workhorse. So I guess now I got it running. Now we'll start messing with the coils on the inside. We'll get some, put a battery on the inside. We'll energize those coils. I'll start running some experiments. I'm going to lace PMHs all the way around the whole wheel. Some are going to be electromagnetic and some are going to be just coils. Leave your comments. Things humming pretty good right now. Taking it for a test run, guys. It's what we're doing right now. Coil's not even warm. This thing is cold. Popping it with 40 amps every time it just flashes. It's a 40 amp hit. 24 volts, 0.6, 0.06 ohms. It's holding up pretty good. Yeah, that's that spring effect. It ain't the best setup, but it's a little better than last night. Seems to not be slowing down at all. Going 14 minutes strong. That some bitch is hollering. If I made this a little more bearable, I'll touch it. Right now it's spring variable. She's hollering. contact there is scooching over. It's all about the contact. It's a heavy wheel. All right, so we have the pipes not hot, but it's warm, so you can see how long it's been running. Ow. That was a little hot, but it hurt. Yeah, man. One more for the Gipper. Alright, I think that might be where I was in the beginning. Let's try this again. See the LED flashing over there. Voltmeter. Picking up speed. So this iron casing, I weld it to the grounding pipe. So what's going on to the back EMF? It's a question to the gents out there. The casing, iron, coil. So every time this back EMF hits, it's getting sucked up in the coils. For what? Oh, clean? How'd it come It's not running as fast as the first run. Probably a little more adjustments. Let's see what I can do there. Hello, Mike. Let me rewire the PMH. Right now I'm going through the PMH. In series. You guys can see the voltmeter, right? Look at the voltmeter. I'm going to connect the other wire. So now it's in parallel. Let's see if it goes up. Let me get it connected and we'll see what's going on. Take the load off. Something's going on. We're not getting. Maybe we're just not going fast enough. It should be getting more voltage out of the PMH. I don't know what is going on. It's kind of hard to figure out. guess it has to come down to speed. Not a lot of volts. Nah, something going on. I'm gonna have to investigate tomorrow. All right, my fellow YouTubers. May the force be with you. Yes. Yes, Mike, it's running off of 2-car batteries, 24 volts, but I have resistance on it so I can adjust the resistance and slow it down. But this is maximum power. But now it comes down to the relay where I can adjust the relay and make it better and get more speed out of it. The whole idea is to treat it like a Tesla coil, to where if you just push it at the right spot, like a kid on a swing, start off pushing, and it's hard to push, and then as it gets going, the momentum, you just push a little bit at the very end. And that's what we're going to be looking for here. I got tired of pulling it with my hand or pushing it with my hand, and I refuse to use an electric motor, so I must turn it in my own means. And this is one of 3 means. This is first time I ever used and made a cylinder coil, and the other few times I've turned it was using Ed's PMH, and I will be going back and doing some videos turning it with Ed's PMH as well. But I am going to take and build PMHs and put them all the way around the wheel. This thing is going to look unreal. Yeah, I think in order to really get this thing narrowed down is to come off a gear and run the gear off of this gear down bottom. See, I'll do it with this one. I don't have the right teeth. I'm trying to hunt down the right teeth. So once I get a gear, I could have this turning off the wheel, and then I can weld a little nodule on this shaft here. And then what I would do from there is go back to the old nice points. So on that shaft, that little nodule will hit this and make and break contact. And that's ideally what I'm heading towards, but I just cannot get it done. I need to find the gear. I've been hunting it down. Every time I pay for it and try to get it shipped, they tell me it'll be 5 to 8 weeks to get it. So I just deny the order and cancel it. Happened to me 3 times. But I'll figure out. It's that gear ring in the top and the gear ring on the bottom. It's from a Model T Ford. But ideally, that with the dwell adjustment, oh man. Oh, this thing will, no more of this banging and stuff. But you know what's good about this? This is ingenuity. I mean, the wheels turn. I know this ain't efficient. I get it. You know, I'm not some moron over here. Just, I'm having fun. I'm experimenting. I got the son of a bitch. Adam on the teeth. I'm gonna have to find out what they are. I don't know. I have no clue. No clue. I'm gonna have to hunt it down. I do have this. It's Lang's old car parts. And this is my go-to place. And they're just 5, 8 weeks out. It's crazy. But I'll look on here and see what the gear ring is. But it's, let's see. I'll look tomorrow. It's pretty big teeth, and it's a transmission gear. So it's a flywheel gear. So obviously a small off a starter is what I'll be trying to hunt down. I'm gonna go to the junkyard tomorrow and see if I can find something to match that. But ideally that's my dream on turning the wheel. I mean, it's all about experiments, and I'll tell you, it's really fascinating to be messing with electrostatics and the ground, and like just the ground plane. I was messing with my Tesla coil, and coming off the bottom of the secondary, I had it go into the grounding rod right here that goes to ground. And I decided to disconnect it from there, and I had it going and had it just laying near the ground, and it was going ballistic. So I decided to take a piece of aluminum, and I took the aluminum and just sat it a little bit above the ground. Just a hair, and I'll tell you, there was a gap about that much from the ground. And it's amazing how the ground was reacting to the bottom of the Tesla coil. So I did a little more experimenting, and the next big thing was this. I was standing on that rubber mat. Now that rubber mat is from a restaurant I used to own, and barefoot above the rubber mat. And I'll tell you, between me and the Tesla coil and the rubber mat, I started to feel sparks coming up from the ground to the bottom of my feet, because I was holding a 4-foot lamp to the near the top of the Tesla coil, and it was coming out and coming through the lamp in my hand down the bottom of my feet, going to the ground. So I'm really fascinated with taking electromagnetism and creating electrostatics with it, and having the electrostatics react to the ground. Because I think if we're really going to do anything in regards to pulling some kind of electrons or some kind of energy from the ground, then it would have to be in an electrostatic way, because that's how the ground reacts. It doesn't react to magnetic in a sense. It's like it's definitely off 90 degrees. Exactly. And the other thing is too is that from the center of the earth, whether or not it's hollow or if it's liquid, I believe it's more hollowish, like an air bubble, and molting around the air bubble, and then it starts to slow down as the energy I'm talking about, the heat, when it goes further out from the center, and then you start to get crustaceans of stuff. And as that happens, I believe the energy is one in the center, and then it comes out, and as it cools down, it gets to material, to where material, like if you notice how magnets are made, they are put together different metals, and they are heated up, and then they're cooled down a little bit, and then they're magnetized just from taking a car battery or two car batteries and put a coil to that and send that magnetism, electroinduction, into the magnet. And then they take the magnet and dip it in water and quench it. So basically, they're encapsulating the molecules atomically. So they're just giving them a pathway, and only certain materials will react to that pathway. So in regards to the energy coming out from the center of the earth, when it gets to where the material starts to appear and it's cooled down enough, like I explained, it's the same process as making a magnet as the earth, then it decides to separate. So now you have one energy separating as it's coming up to the surface. Interesting, because you don't really even need the air to get power from the ground. You just have to really break it down and look how Mother Nature is providing it and doing it itself. So what would the wheel have to do with that? Well, obviously, I love experimenting. I love to see what power we can get out of here, yada, yada, yada. Lenz's law effect, and just kind of some Maxwell stuff. But it's more than that, because it's going to be a pulse rate anywhere between 8.7 and say 40. And the only reason I'm saying 40 is because it seems like during the change of the out of winter into the spring equinox time, that I noticed that my experiments I was doing from the ground, charging the batteries, sort of slowed down. So it seems like when the pulse rate went up during the equinox, up to like 40 hertz and 38 to 40 hertz. And with that being said, that means that there was something going on with the compression of like thermodynamics is probably what drives this. And leave your comments if you know anything about it. Appreciate it. But the as it comes up, it separates, and it has more sometimes than other. And basically 7.8 to 40 is based on how many lightning strikes. So the heartbeat of this big old nodule of material that we stand on has a heartbeat, because the energy that's in the center is sort of a convection thermodynamic dynamo that puts out a crazy mass amount of energy that through material elements itself, they condense and separate. There goes your capacitors. There goes your Leedskalnin. They are definitely driven by our atom, by our solar winds. That is definitely a main thing that contributes or drives the whole enchilada here. It's that, let's just say it's that turbulent kind of compression and expansion. So the center is expanding out, but it's being compressed on the outer layers of the stratosphere. All right, you guys, sorry to talk too much to you. Just wanted to run a couple things, why I do what I do with the wheel. It's not all about one thing, it's just about different things, and I hope you appreciate it. Peace out.